5 guys that you can get good value from on your Dynasty team. 5 players that can potentially, you can create league-winning moves and upgrade the talent on your roster, whatever it wants to do. Name number 1, and these names are going to be good, man. These are going to win your league. Alvin Kamara, 29 years old. Signs a nice little 2-year contract. Oh, that's great. Now, he's going to be playing this year, and he's going to be very good this year. Now, the Saints, they're honestly, the problem is the Saints have nothing to play for. And they have Kendre Miller, who hasn't been able to stay healthy, but people say he has RB1 upside. I'm not too worried about that, but he is there. It is mentionable. They also have Devin Neal, who they just drafted, and they have another rookie that went undrafted that I'm also kind of a bit big on as well. But so basically, they have some RB depth now on their depth chart, and when the Saints are going to be tanking for draft picks, why wouldn't they, see what they have in that RB position? Especially with Kamara, he was already banged up in 2024. There's a good chance he's going to get banged up again and might not be playing through the injury this time. Now, Kamara is under contract for 2025. 2026, I believe they can't cut him again. So 2026, if they cut him, they will take a significant cap hit. So I do expect to see Kamara relevant in fantasy for the next 2 years. Now, beyond that, yeah, he's gone. You're dust, buddy. I'd be shocked. Maybe a 1-year deal type thing. But Kamara, he's outstayed his welcome. He's already 29 years old. He had a 21.5% target share in 2024. I'm actually high on Alvin Kamara from a redraft perspective. But in Dynasty leagues, the reason we're looking to move on from Alvin Kamara, I have the Fantasy Pros trade value chart pulled up. I'm looking at the running back position. They have Alvin Kamara ranked RB23 with a trade value of 36. Looking at the guys you can move on from Kamara for. You can move on from Kamara and you can get Pacheco. You can get DeAndre Swift, Scatabo, James Conner, Bashal Tuden, Trey Benson, Brian Robertson Jr., Javonte Williams. So just to look at the trade value. Javonte Williams is 17 and Kamara is 36. So you can get Javonte Williams, who's currently the RB1 in Dallas, and I'm not high on him, but you can also get Javonte Williams and Jadon Blue and potentially control that Dallas room. And even then still, you can potentially get somebody else on top of that based on the current trade value. So I just think that Alvin Kamara still has value, and that value is going to slowly go down and down and down as we get closer to his expiration date for fantasy relevance. Name number 2 is George Kittle. We have a couple tight ends coming up here. Now, Kittle had a very good 2024 season, and he's actually been a little bit more healthy than expected. So 2020, he only played 8 games, and then 2021, he played 14, 2022, 15, 23, he played 16, and then 2024, he played 15. So injury concerns have been a bit of a thing for George Kittle. We haven't seen him play a full season really since 2018, it looks like. I guess you can consider 2023 potentially as well, where he played 16 here. So George Kittle does sign the contract extension. George Kittle, 4-year contract, $76 million. You basically expect Kittle to be the starting tight end for the 49ers. He's 31 years old. He's 31 years old signing this contract. Don't let the length of this contract fool you. Yes, it's a lot of money. But this is the guy that's been in the league. He's played 8 years in the league. His body is damaged, bro. Now, his stats did look very, very good in 2024. His yards per hour was 3.09, the third best of his career, the best of his career since 2019. Target share of 22%. You have Debo leaving. You can expect George Kittle's workload to even potentially increase in 2025. Again, this is someone I like in the short term, but when we look at the value you can potentially get, you're telling me I can move on from George Kittle and I can get one of these rookie tight ends. So you got George Kittle at tight end 6 right now in value. If you can laterally move from Kittle to Warren, from Kittle to Loveland, yes, give me the 10-year age reduction and the upside. Yes, please. Now, you also have guys like Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor is trade value of 26, and George Kittle is 43. I'd rather have Mason Taylor and Kyle Pitts than George Kittle right now. I'd rather have Isaiah Likely is trade value of 29. So I think George Kittle is somebody you can potentially tear up from in getting one of these rookie tight ends, and someone's going to accept that deal. You can even maybe package him in a tear down for someone like Tucker Kraft, someone like Kyle Pitts, Isaiah Likely, any of those rookie tight ends that are a little bit, not in that A tier with Warren and Loveland. So Kittle's value is a bit higher than I would expect for somebody who's 31 as well. And I'm not too big on, 4-year contract, that's great. Not too happy about it. Hawkinson comes back from the brutal injury. Played 10 games in 2024. He didn't look good. Yards per route run was 2.6, which is very good, but he only averaged 8.6 PPR points per game. only had a 47% snap rate, right? So he was kind of, he was eased back into action. Now, the injury recovery timetable, you would expect him to have a bounce back year here in 2025. The Vikings, you got J.J. McCarthy. It's a bit of a wild card. What's the passing volume going to be in that offense? He did have an 18% target share in 2024, which was his lowest since 2020 with Detroit. I do expect T.J. Hawkins to potentially have a decent season. I think his floor this year is 10 PPR points per game. It was at 9 for 2024, coming back from that injury. In 2023, he was at 14.6 PPR points per game as tight end 2. Tight end 4 in 2022, tight end 6 in 2020 and 2021. So this is going to be somebody that can be a good tight end. Problem is, I think, again, there's value there that you can capitalize on now. You got TJ Hawkinson right behind George Kittle. Actually, the same trade value as George Kittle. So if you can laterally move, again, same potential trades, same potential trade targets, I'd be looking to do that with TJ Hawkinson. A bit too much unknowns. The injury concerns scare me. The offensive passing volume scares me a little bit as well. You got Addison, you got Jefferson, you got a rookie quarterback. You got the injury concern. I'm a little scared. Move on. You can tear up. We got Mark Andrews. This is the last tight end of the video, though. Mark Andrews, it's really the age that scares me and the fact that we've seen his target share decline for the last 3 seasons. His target share is 15.3%. Isaiah Likely, he needs to get an extension on a contract. This is his last year. He's on a contract year, basically, for Isaiah Likely. So the Ravens are going to have to make a decision. And the decision could be later, Mark Andrews, you're gone, buddy. 62% snap share, again, the lowest of his career since 2019, 2018, his first 2 years in the league. He's basically passing the reins over to Isaiah Likely is what it seems like. Looking at his trade value currently, he's currently tight end 9 at 32. I'd much rather have Tucker Kraft. I'd much rather have a guy like Evan Ingram. Actually, that's not true. Evan Ingram's also going to only be playing for the next 2 or 3 years, most likely at a high level. But I'd rather have, Mason Taylor and somebody else. I'd rather even have Harold Fannin Jr. and somebody else at this point. If you can get Harold Fannin Jr. and maybe Benson Knott and Terrence Ferguson packaged in, there's a lot of better, younger options out there. Mark Andrews, even if he is playing every game, I'm still a little bit worried about his outlook. Final name is Rome Odunze. This guy's just dusty as a rookie. Plays all 17 games. Only averages 8.5 PPR points per game. Nothing looked good. 85% snap share. That's good. 7.3 yards per target. That's good. 19% target share. Yards per out run, 1.32. They bring in Luther Burden. They bring in Colston Loveland. Goodbye, Mr. Odunze. Sell him for a bag of beans if you're able to get it. And guess what? You are able to get it. And I don't know why, but this guy is currently wide receiver 19. You can trade Rome Odunze, who was a dusty rookie, and is now in a loaded room. You can trade him for Emeka Egbuka, DK Metcalf. Xavier Worthy is ranked below him. You can trade him for Ricky Pearsall, Chris Olave. There's just a lot of better guys down below him on this list. I get the fact it's a guy going into year 2. I get the age and all that stuff. I get the rookie quarterback. Bro, he's overvalued. Those are 5 guys to move on from in your Dynasty League to win. Thanks for watching. Smash the like and subscribe button. Peace.